Guys, it was time for an upgrade. What you are seeing right now is the Canon EOS R, which is by far one of my favorite cameras that I've ever owned. I'm gonna tell you a story about how I got this camera back and also upgrading from the Lumix G. Really no comparison between these two cameras, so let's get into it. Not too long ago, I was looking on Facebook Marketplace and I wanted to see if there was a better upgrade for a camera. Now, this Lumix G has done a great job. It's been able to shoot in 4K, great kit lens, super just lightweight, durable, good camera, but I really was missing one camera in particular that I used to own, and I had to sell it for one reason. 2 years ago, I got into a bad financial situation. I had to help a family member out by paying off some of their medical bills, and I had to sell my Canon EOS R, which you guys are seeing right now. I was heartbroken. I loved this camera. I was using it all the time for photography, video making, everything, and I had to give it away, and the price range for it was just way too much for me to buy again. And I've been looking for this camera for so long, and luckily something happened. So guys, I was looking for this camera for so long, and finally on Facebook Marketplace I found a listing for $900 for the Canon EOS R and the lens. Now, I know what you're thinking, is it fake? That's what I thought at first, but I wanted to give you guys a quick tip while you're looking on Facebook Marketplace if you're trying to buy a camera. What happens a lot of the time on Facebook Marketplace is you get a lot of people that actually are making false listings. Now, what I mean by this is that they'll put something with a bunch of photos, they'll make it look real, and when they do that, people try to buy it, and when they show up, it's a scam. So you have to be really careful and do your research about who the person is selling, who's selling the thing that you're trying to buy, and do your research before you go and meet up. Are they trying to do an online sale? Do they not want to meet in person? Are there stipulations to the sale? You have to be really careful and do your research. So I was going on to Facebook Marketplace on my phone and I was doing a bunch of research, and if I can actually pull it up, when I found the camera, I was in disbelief. I didn't really understand how it was possible that the Canon EOS R would be selling for $900. I thought that was absolutely insane. So this was the listing that I had seen, 24 by 105, used sporadically. So I didn't really know what that meant, sporadically. So, you know, I did my research, I messaged the guy, I was like, what did you mean by that? Is this something that you've been using a long time? The thing that you have to really understand too about a lot of cameras is sometimes you need to check the shutter count. So that just means whenever a camera has taken a photo, there's a certain shutter count. It's almost like mileage on a car. So it will tell you, okay, this camera has had this many shutter counts or this much mileage. So you just want to be careful about the type of mileage that it has, because you don't want to buy a camera that has already been used for like years and years and pretty much doesn't have a long lifespan. But the good thing about Canon is they do last pretty long. I was doing a lot of research, and one thing, again, that you also want to do while you're doing your research is talk to the person who is selling the camera, or just selling whatever you're trying to buy. So if you look here, you just want to ask some generic questions. So guys, just asking a lot of questions, you know, like, does everything work? You know, what's the shutter count? Finally, I was able to meet up with this guy to buy the camera, and the one thing that was kind of interesting was he wanted me to meet him inside. I could understand. I drive a Hyundai Elantra 2013. There are a few dents when I bought the car, so I think the guy who I was selling it to was kind of like, is this guy sketchy? I don't really know why, so I decided to, you know, follow him in. This guy lived in a very luxurious apartment in Boston, and I was like, okay, this is starting to make me feel a little bit more comfortable that I'm buying a product that is going to work, there won't be any mistakes. So I met the guy, shook his hand, we went inside, I asked him a few questions, you know, why did you have this camera, why are you selling it? The guy said it's just been sitting around for so long. Immediately in my head, that was the perfect thing that I love to hear. One major thing that I recommend is if you find someone selling something on Facebook and they tell you it's been sitting around for a long time, you are able to negotiate the price. I'm telling you, that is one of the best things that has saved me. So I highly recommend, if someone tells you it's been sitting around for a long time, definitely try to negotiate and do it. So I was talking to the guy, I was feeling the camera, checking the shutter count online, and finally I said to him, would you do 800? So the guy was like, this is already like a really good good price. $900 I feel like is very fair. I'll also include a camera bag as well. So the guy ran upstairs, got a camera bag, and I paid $900 for this Canon EOS R. And man, oh man, it is amazing to have it back. I mean, not saying that my face is beautiful, but I want you guys just to realize how amazing the autofocus is on this. I'm moving my face round and around, and it is crystal clear. So I could even come up here and you will see my eyes. It is so amazing. So I just absolutely miss this camera so much, and I'm so happy to have it. The Canon EOS R is a massive upgrade from this Lumix G. Now, I don't want to let you think that this Lumix is a bad camera. It was really good and it's awesome. You know, it has a fully rotatable LCD display. You know, obviously basic kit lens that I didn't really use a ton. Can shoot in 4K, so definitely has great quality, but you cannot compare the difference between these two cameras. It is just like night and day, different price range. Now I want to get into the big upgrades that I've noticed between the Canon EOS R and the Lumix G. Things that I want to talk about is, one, the autofocus is like night and day. I used to constantly have to tap this right here, always tapping it to make sure that I was completely autofocused, and that's why there's a bunch of smudges. And that is one of the problems with this camera and the price range, is a lot of the time the autofocus, if you move around, it will not fully capture your face, and that is one difficult thing to counter when you're doing editing and you're trying to post a video to YouTube. It is one of my biggest pet peeves, so that is one thing that I love about my Canon EOS R. The thing that a lot of people talk about is the fact that the Canon EOS R does not have 4K video. Now, I could understand why people are like, I want 4K, but to be honest, this is shooting at 1080p, 60 frames per second, full HD, and it's amazing. I would much rather take this video quality versus this video quality in 4K. I just think it's like so much better, so much more clear, and I can't wait to do the editing and look at it for this video. For someone who loves shooting photography, this is going to be a camera that you are going to have so much fun with. People are gonna say you are taking some of the most amazing photos, and you're gonna pretty much be thankful that you have this camera. This thing can shoot amazing photos. I have done weddings with my past Canon EOS R. I've shot portrait shots, everything, taken it out during the winter, during the summer. I've done so many things with this camera, and I am just constantly amazed by what it is able to do. And again, I am just blown away. So if you're someone where you have a little camera, you know, like the Lumix G, and again, I don't want to make this seem like this is a bad camera, but this is a huge upgrade. And you know, if you find a deal on Facebook Marketplace, I definitely recommend that you take it, because something like this may have been sold and I would have regretted not buying it, so it was something that I had to do. I'm really grateful to have this camera back again, and I cannot wait to upload more videos and have better content because of it. Now, I want to say this again, guys, it is not always about the camera, it is about the person in front of the camera, what is going on behind and in front. But again, because this is a full circle thing, I'm just really happy to have it. And again, thank you guys so much for all the support on a lot of my videos. I feel like I've been growing a lot in 2023. So thank you guys once again, and I cannot wait to upload more content for you guys. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and take care.